Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today I'm going to be doing a book review, and that is of the book Case White. It's been a interesting month for me. I started doing NaNoWriMo, but unfortunately, um, I uh, I fell behind and my wrist started bothering me, so I am not going to finish Nano this year. But I do have a good start to something that I may finish like in the future, so that's good. And then one book took me about 20 days to read, so that was the book was good, and now I should be reviewing again my next review. But yeah, it just took a while to get through it, and yeah, so the reason for that being I got the Disney bundle, Disney Plus bundle, so I got Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu. So I got like distracted by that. That's another reason why I haven't done Nano, and not so much by Disney Plus because I only watched one show on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, which is pretty good, but also Hulu. I've been watching some true crime stuff, and ESPN. I'm trying to learn more about international soccer, or football, because I watch American football, love it. I have some friends who watch international football, um, but I don't really know much about it. So I thought I would catch up on that. So that's what a lot of my time has been doing, watching like stuff related to international soccer and true crime stuff. But um, on the international, going on off on the international stuff, this book basically Case White, the invasion of Poland from 1939 by Robert Forczyk, is about the invasion of Poland by Germany during the year 1939, which you can get from the title. So this book seeks to cover in detail what happened leading up to and during and a little bit after that invasion. The author in the introduction says that he wants to dispel some of the myths concerning the invasion, mainly that like the Poles were using like cavalry to charge tanks, and that because that was like all that they had, and like some other myths that have cropped up in English histories of this invasion. He, for example, says in the introduction that a lot of the histories have been written about the invasion either kind of gloss over it because it was like the first salvo. It didn't last that long. I think like less than a month it took to take over Poland. Especially once the Russians came in from the other side, they didn't really have a chance. The saying goes that they got crucified basically between two thieves. So a lot of people either kind of gloss over it. It's important because it was the first salvo of Hitler's part of World War II, but it happened so quickly. A lot of people kind of gloss over in the histories, and also they haven't really. He says that he claims that a lot of those historians haven't really looked at the Polish sources regarding the invasion. They look mostly at the German ones or the ones provided in English. So basically, in this book, the author, he starts way back, actually. He starts, I think, in the 13th century, back in the early days of Poland. Kind of goes briefly through the history of Poland up to World War One. Then talks about the rise of Poland after World War One, its battles with the Soviet Union, and then kind of looks at the politics that were going on in Poland during the interwar years, and looking at how the military is built, how the politics during that time in Poland determine what was built, what was given priority when it came to defenses and things like that. It talks about the production of different weapons, such as the airplanes for the fighter corps, for the air fighter corps, tanks, guns, where they were buying them, where they were trying to make it themselves. Also talks about the legacy of the Enigma machine, which we kind of give credit to England for, but actually the basis for that came from Poland before the start of World War II. Then he goes into what Hitler actions were during the interwar period and Germany's build up into World War II, and basically how he's just kind of taking countries without much interference from the Allies until he invaded Poland. And even then, once he invades Poland, there was just kind of like a censure of Hitler advance of maybe a couple miles, and then like England and France basically did nothing. And so then he goes into the invasion proper. Poland describes basically, as most military history does, like a play-by-play of what was happening in Poland, and the desperate defense that the Poles put up. But once Russia and Stalin's troops joined the war, pretty much nothing they can do at that point. They had kind of already been abandoned by England, and yeah, they kind of been abandoned by England and France, and so there's really not much they could do. Also kind of talks about how the Germans weren't as perfect as a lot of people think they were when they were doing this invasion. They still had a lot to learn. Just a lot. They're kind of first time putting a lot of the tactics that they had talked about in their war rooms in live battle for the first time on a large scale. So there were a lot of mistakes made by the ground forces and the Luftwaffe, their air forces. So there was a learning process for them too. So this book is really good. Oops, almost knocked over my camera there. So this book is really good if you're really interested in like Polish history and World War II history. If you want to get a really in-depth look at what's happened during the Polish invasion, not just from the Polish side, but also from the German side, because he does a really good job of looking at both sides and their actions on both sides, then I think this would be a really good book for you. So I give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Very informative, very detailed. And so you definitely get a very good overview of what happened during that time. So that is it for this review. If you want to see more from me, well, first, please let me know how I did with this review. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28, on Instagram at Justin the Ghost Reader, and also on Goodreads. The link to that is down in the description box below. So as always, keep reading.